Yeah, so well, she's gorgeous, so it's easy to smile when you see her, and she's 99% of the time smiling. It was easy to come in here and not feel deflated when she was working. She greeted you. She wanted to know how you're doing in life, sometimes too much, because I said you need to start making her drinks. You know, we have a business to run. We have a business to run here, but. No, and the things she told me, one of the last things Logan said to me outside of I love you, because she said it every single shift, and the last day I saw her was April 25th. And I took her tip money when she was working at another bar in the same, or another restaurant in the same restaurant group. And sat down, talked to her for 5-10 minutes. She told me about her life. I said, you know, I'll see you on your next shift. And her next shift, she didn't show up. And so the last words of her to me were, I love you. So that's the kind of person she was. Because I'm sure that stems from how she was raised. I also see how that stemmed from she's had some other tragedy in her life that did not involve her, but involved friends. Because she told me a lot of things personally that I didn't ask, but I was an ear. I'm a boss, I have a job to do, but I'm a friend. I don't want you to not want work here. And the one thing that she always told Ashley, she called her Queen, is she said, you know, I really enjoy coming through those doors, because she did say she worked with mature people. I don't know if that was true. But what I will say, because at 46 I have some immaturity in me, but I will say, she said, I actually feel loved. And she means she feels loved outside in this cruel, crazy world, outside of her own family's home. And I know there's a lot of people that love Logan, but to hear that makes you feel like you did something right as an owner. And I mean, there's my two partners here would only come, you know, they only come to the bar if she's bartending or my girlfriend was bartending. That speaks volumes, because those guys don't live close and they have a lot going on. But that being said, I mean, it was always jokes and laughing and let's see what Logan's going to say next. And but it was more of fun than worried about what she was going to say. But you know, when you deal with somebody with a great spirit, you know, sometimes I was going through something and I have to let that push that to the side, because I'm in charge. If people walk in here and I'm pissed, it's probably not going to go very well. So if people walk in here and I'm not in a good mood, it's probably not going to be very efficient of a day. So I had to push to the side. When she came through here, sometimes she picked me up. And you know, that speaks a lot for a 22-year-old kid. So, you know, the aura in here when she worked was great. Her work ethic grew tremendously in a year and a half. What I do want to say, so I don't leave it out, is her favorite cocktail, we named it the Queen. And that's because she called her bar manager and her boss Queen. And what the Federico family doesn't know is every single month they're going to get cut a check for 50% of the sales on that drink to help with anything we can do. And you know, it may be a couple $100, it may be $2,000. I mean, shoot, I've seen some of her friends I never saw in a year and a half come through here the last 3 days because they knew she worked here. So they're already contributing. So I didn't want to leave that part out because it's important, because there's only so much I can do. I mean, I'm sick to my stomach. I couldn't imagine how a father feels. I couldn't imagine how a brother feels. I couldn't imagine how a mother feels. I just couldn't imagine. And anyone says they could imagine, they've either dealt with it or they're lying. But she was a bright light in a place, not here, in a world that can be very dark. And that's the one thing about her that I'll never forget.
What do you hope other people don't forget about her?
You know, I knew her for a year and a half, and a year and a half doesn't seem like that long, but you know, you're looking at 500 plus days. That's a long time. And when I'm in charge and that's an employee and everyone says millennials don't want to work, and it's true to an extent, this is one that we saw turn around. And so her goals in life were to be around kids all the time. I believe she wanted to be a teacher. But most importantly, I mean, she had some babysitting and nanny jobs that she just always talked about. And you know, that's a lot of people just say, I can't stand kids, you know, and just push them to the side. She embraced it. She wanted to be around them. She was a happy soul, harmless, obviously beautiful. Anyone can see a picture of her now. But there's a lot more to her beauty than looking at her. And that's what people need to realize is when somebody's beautiful, that doesn't mean they're a great person. But when somebody's beautiful inside and out, it speaks volumes for how she was raised, where she came from, and whatever we could do in these closed doors and this 2,000 square feet of a room.